Love of the Invisibles, How Ash Found Violet 27, copyrighted 2015 by Nazeli Zelian. In a couple of hours all went back to order. Ash and others have found out that Uncle Harry was able to alert the local Invisibles who had scanned the area, came to round up the people that worked for Refi and made sure that the events of the night were not going to be spread within the city people population. Their leader had ordered to take care of the biobatteries and had already communicated with the council of people for means of their transportation to the nearest energy rooms to be examined and decided what to do with the enormous amount of the stored Earth's core energy. An invisible man had offered his services, honored that Ref family members would stay in one of the houses he owned in the area. Amber was busy taking care of Hunter, who was recovering from cold. Ash had already transferred some healing energy to his brother, and it was circulating in his system, taking time to repair the damage done by the snow to his feet and stop him from shivering from fever. Amber had insisted he put his feet in warm water and was pampering Hunter with an aromatic soup that she had made. They looked very happy together. Ash had a feeling that their love had already had some intimate developments while they were together at the time when Refi's men kept him and Norik. Hunter referred to her as his golden girl. He had already communicated to his brother that he intended to marry her as soon as things were back to normal. Ash was happy for them. Finally, his mother's worries will be over for Hunter finding a suitable girl, and Aunt Hermina will give up her matchmaking for him. He opened the bedroom door to find Violet stirring to wake up. "How are you feeling, my love?" he asked, stroking her light hair. "I feel fine," she said, raising her lavender eyes to her husband. "You are so beautiful," he said, giving a peck on her forehead. "And how are they?" He put his hand on her large stomach and instantly felt waves of movement. "Oh, did you feel that?" he said, excited. "They know that it's Daddy, huh?" Violet giggled, something she had not done for a long time. "Every time you touch me, there is cha-cha-cha in my belly," she laughed some more. Ash put his mouth to her temple and smelled her hair. It smelled of fresh mountain wind. "I almost lost you up there," he whispered. "You saved me," she said, matching his soft voice. They stayed silent for a while, embracing each other, absorbing each other's energy. "Oh, how much I've missed you," Violet said. "And I you," Ash reflected. "What is it?" he said, looking at Violet's troubled face. "I feel guilty rejoicing here when my uncle is being buried hurriedly in the village cemetery," she said, and when Ash raised an eyebrow, she added, "We could have been family, you know, if he wasn't so ambitious." Ash kept his silence as he stroked her hand. What could he say to her? Yes, Refi was Violet's uncle, but he threatened her life and the life of his unborn children, tranquilized even his own nephew. How could he be sorry for him? He was angry at him, and he felt that Refi got what he deserved. But he knew that Violet was a true Ref, and Ref family deeply cared for their own, no matter the circumstances. Refi was the black sheep of the family. In any case, bad people were born to good families once in a while. "No matter how you block your thoughts, I can guess what you're thinking," Violet said. "Let it go, Ash," she asked him. "Please." "I will try," he said, meaning it. He knelt at her bed, still holding her hand. "All I'm thinking about is to get you safely home so you can spend the rest of your pregnancy in peace and comfort." "Are we going to return to the pine then?" Violet asked. "No, my love," Ash answered. "The family has moved back to Aunt Hermina's estate at Fresno. It is warmer in California. I think you had enough of snow for now. I can't wait to see those beautiful eyes of yours slowly gaining back their intense color." "Are we to stay there for a while?" she asked. "Enough time for you to give birth and get on your feet. My mother and aunt would take care of you and the children until we're ready to move to our own place," he said. I know. You want to know where it is. I have a couple of options. Plus, I want to know about my brother's plans If he gets married, we could live in close proximity." Violet looked at him with a question in her eyes. "Okay, not that close," Ash said. "I know what you're thinking." He kissed her hand. "Plus, they would need time to learn the art of controlling their energy, too." He winked. Oh, how much Violet longed to be with him. She had missed the time they were together, their talks, caresses, and the time they were intimate. That time would come, too, Ash messaged her. Violet knew he could read her thoughts. She never used the thought blocking techniques when he was around the way she blocked them from Refi. "Ash," Violet said, stretching her body, "something happened up there, when I was in the Karahunch circle," and continued, seeing she got his full attention. "At the end, when you were trying to free me, I somehow opened a channel of communication like the one in the energy room, and was able to connect with the members of the Council of People, who were able to draw some energy out of me to them. There were 7 of them, including my Uncle Harry. I knew they were strong like me because they could withstand the energy. I think they were able to do that because the energy got filtered a bit while it traveled the distance. I also believe that each one was far away in the energy room of their region where they lived, but it felt like we were all together, like the way the city people telecommunicate. I didn't feel alone. I was supported and comforted." "That is amazing," he said. "Did you tell your brother?" "I didn't have a chance. I will after he gets back." Norik had stayed with his sister as long as he could to make sure that she was doing well before he could go with the local invisibles who wanted to bury Refi's body soon before the local officials would get a hold of it. After all, he was a ref, and he deserved a place to rest. But Violet took time to recuperate without talking to her brother, and Norik left her under Ash's care, promising to return in the evening. "Well, my sweet, it is time you had something to eat. Your cousin has been fussing enough about my brother. It is time you get some attention too. She made food that smells divine. I'm telling you, the girl can cook," Ash said with delight. It was obvious that he already had his meal. "She's been waiting for you to get enough rest, but she was anxious to serve it to you warm and fresh." "Yum, I would like something to eat. It seems like I have not eaten for ages. Is there a dessert too?" Violet said, sitting up with Ash's help. "Well, it is a surprise. After you will have your food, of course." It felt like heavy weight has fallen off Violet's shoulders since she was under Ash and Amber's care. It was wonderful to have a loving family. They all have been so kind. Amber was true sister, and Violet felt lucky to have found her. Hunter was her hero, acting fast and smart, giving his own boots to his brother to serve as an insulator against the powerful energy that definitely would have shocked Ash if he used his bare hands to touch Refi. Violet had enough electricity classes at the beauty school to know about conductors and insulators, and learned even more when she was trained for electrical facials with high frequency and galvanic machines and glass electrodes. Norik, her beloved brother, had quickly arranged everything for them to be comfortable and have the necessary resources. He had also communicated with Uncle Harry, who had arranged for their flight tickets, and they were soon going to fly to Paris and later to United States. She was in bad shape after her ordeal. Her husband and brother had done some extensive healing energy work to revive her and repair her health once they have gotten her to safety. Ash had scanned her babies. They had good heartbeat and were doing well. They were even more active than before. Norik's energy, that was almost identical to his sister's, had worked like an energy IV for Violet. He had sat next to her and held her hand for a long time, channeling it through her as she slowly drifted back and forth from sleep until she was well again. Even as she slept, she subconsciously felt safe, protected, and loved by her brother. What a blessing to have! By the evening, everyone was gathered around the dinner table to enjoy Amber's fabulous dishes. Hunter was sitting proudly, checking out each plate and knowing exactly which ingredient was used for each dish with his strong sense of smell and communicated silently with Amber, who kept confirming that his findings were right. "We are expecting visitors," Norik announced after the table was cleared and they were all cozied up around the fireplace in the living room. Amber and Hunter watched the local show of the singers and their blind auditions, while Ash and Norik talked about their plans for departure. Violet sat comfortably at the end of the sofa with her legs stretched under a warm blanket, slightly touching Ash's upper hip with her feet. Norik sat across from them in an armchair. They had local delicacies on the table: pastries and cookies, gata and baklava, and nuts and dried fruits. Violet especially enjoyed the sweet rolled walnuts, long pieces of walnut strings dipped in a honey mixture that gave it a caramel-like texture mixed with nuts, called suju. "They're here," Norik rose, hearing a knock on the door.